Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone's had a wonderful Thursday. I'm here, Beatrice from Share Architecture, and I'm very excited to be presenting this year submissions process and to answer any questions that you might have. I have quite a presentation for you with a lot of information, so I hope that you all are ready. And at any time, you can jump in, ask any questions. I'm happy to be here and offer any support. So let me just start off a bit with, um, let me just share my screen. So I hope that everyone can see what I'm presenting over here. Just one second. So, before we dive into the awards, I want to talk a little bit about uh, the Share Society. So, Share Architect is an independent and international platform for communication, and it's been running for almost 30 years now. So, through an extensive network of events organized in more than 25 countries, Share creates meaningful opportunities for professionals for a dialogue and exchange of ideas. And in collaboration among many different architects and thought leaders and developers, we've come together to create what we have today. So over the years, Share Architects has become recognized reference point for international architecture. And we're really excited about this. And because we're connecting professionals from Central and Southeastern Europe, Central Asia, the Caucasus, and the Middle East while promoting excellence, innovation, and responsibilities. So, um, I want to move over to the next slides just so I could show you all the countries that are in all the cities that we have events in. So these are some of the cities that we have had events and we continue to have events and conferences. And probably some of you have been there before. Maybe you haven't, and maybe you want to do so in the future. But this is basically what we're doing and what we plan to continue doing. And we really thank you for being here. So, about the Share Architecture Awards, Share Architecture Awards were established to recognize the excellence and draw international attention to the creative energy that's from the region. And we are really excited to present this year again. This is the third edition that's happening. So the first one was in Athens, and then last year it was in Austria. And this year we are yet to announce where we're going to have that. So make sure you stay tuned to find out when that's going to be. So yeah, we're really excited about that. And I just want to show you a little bit about what happened in 2024. So these are some of the images from Share Architecture Awards 2024. And in the first edition, so when it first happened, we had over 200 project submissions. And out of these 200 project submissions, there were 75 finalists from 15 countries. So out of these 200 projects, our jury selected 75 finalists to go and be at this event, at the festival, and celebrate together and present. So all these submissions, all these finalists that have presented, they presented live. So not only was this a digital type of portfolio, they were also able to present it live in person in front of this like world-renowned international jury. So that was a really interesting first edition to have, and it really motivated us to continue into the second and into the third now, and hopefully many more. And in 2025, which was last year in December, there were 114 finalists. So in total, there were about 300 project submissions. So compared to the previous year, you can see that there was an increase in project submissions. And hopefully this year, with you as well, we get to have many more submissions as well. So out of these 300, 114 finalists were from 20 countries. And again, They met in Austria on this beautiful location, and they celebrated. They presented all their projects. They celebrated together. They networked, and this is the best part about the Share Architecture Awards and festival. And this is a festival at the end of the day. This is what we're trying to promote: the fact that you can come here and just network and connect with fellow architects, with engineers, and with other people in this space that you're in as well. So you can learn and get inspired from them and not just present something, not just present it and then do your thing and then go home. No, these are connections that have stayed within this community for a very long time. So, why Share Architecture Awards actually stands out compared to other awards? So, I want to run you through this list and just tell you exactly why you should actually choose to submit your project. So, here's just a few reasons out of all of them. First of all project submissions are free. And it is positioned as a cultural platform. And like I was saying earlier, we are not necessarily into the aspect of competition, which it could be, it is considered a competition, but we want to promote it more as a networking opportunity. And the fact that you can get exposure and visibility and just build a network that doesn't just depend on trophies and PR exposure, that's amazing. That's great. That's wonderful for your projects, for your office, but that's not the only thing we're planning to do. We're planning to expose the regional talent in an international aspect. So it focuses on visibility with real impact. And it brings together Southeast Europe, the Caucasus, Central Asia, and all of these regions under one regional platform where you don't usually get this in other award ceremonies. It also gives architects from overlooked regions a stronger voice in the global architectural dialogue. And then it also evaluates projects beyond how they look like. So when the jury looks at your project, and I'll talk about this a little bit later when I'm going to discuss what you need to submit, it evaluates projects based on the stories and the background and why you created this project, why it was selected, how it came about to be, and what was the purpose, the mission of this project and this building that you've created or you plan to create. It also allows for architects to explain why they did so. And it also values transparency and a more thoughtful process when it comes to judging and the whole jury process. It's an independent jury, an international, world-renowned independent jury. So you can depend on the fact that it's going to be transparent and a very thoughtful process. And it also builds on the professional networks and cross-border relationships, which I've already mentioned quite a bit. So as you can tell, we are very much focusing on this networking aspect and community. And it keeps regional architecture visible beyond the gala moment. So there's this thing, the traveling exposition. So whenever we have events, we promote your project as well if you end up becoming a finalist, if you end up winning. So we're promoting that as well. And that's an amazing aspect to have. So let's go through a few of the benefits of actually submitting that you're probably very interested in. So you first gain visibility beyond your local market. So you probably you have a name for yourself. You have developed your reputation in your own local market, in your own country, maybe even neighboring countries. But what would it be like to be exposed to this international community and have an international exposure and be there on an international scale, basically? It's what your project deserves. So this is what we're trying to do through the Share Architecture Awards. And you get to present your project to an international jury. And like I said earlier, you get to explain your why you built this project. And you also receive recognition through a transparent evaluation process. So that's something you can definitely depend on. And because you're positioning your project alongside 21 countries, you also get more exposure to all these countries as well because you get to meet people from these different countries, architects, engineers, companies that are from these countries, and you can start to collaborate with them. You also connect with the jurors, the industry partners, and other experts as well. So you can definitely depend on building this cross-border professional relationship, and you can also reach the people that you want to reach. And obviously, if you're young, if you're a young architect, maybe just starting out, this would be equally as opportunist for you because you get to meet with all these architects that have been doing this for years and get inspired, maybe get some motivation, some ideas to what to build next. So yeah, basically you can just turn your project recognition into a wider exposure for not only yourself, but for your office and for your region as well. So now I want to run you a bit through the invited countries. And the awards are open for 21 countries from Albania and Armenia in the south, all the way to Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan in Central Asia, and also countries like Poland, Romania, and other countries in Central Europe. So these have been specifically chosen as emerging countries with developing architecture. So if your project is based in one of these countries, regardless of where you are or where your office is, you can submit a project. So you don't have to be in one of these countries physically. You just need to have a project that is in one of these countries, if that makes sense. Next, I move on to the jury chairs, and here we have Martha Thorne, who is the former executive director of the Pritzker Prize in Spain. And we also have Peter Murray, who is the chairman of the New London Architecture and London Society in the UK. So obviously some big names, and they have been with us before as jury members, and it's always been super exciting, and we have so many pictures with them. You might have seen them in the previous slides where I showed you the pictures. So we're really excited to have them as the jury chairs this year and super honored as well. Next, we have the jury members, and these are the 10 jury members that we have this year. They're an exceptional jury of 10 international architects and designers. They come from some of the world's most respected studios, so MVR, DV, MAD Architects, Zaha Hadid Architects, KPF, GMT, and their practices span across the Netherlands, China, the UK, France, and yeah, so you have exposure to these juries. So I highly urge you to get your project in their hands so that they can look through it and basically learn about what you have to say. So each juror was selected to bring a different perspective to the table, and together they represent a global view of architecture today. So now let me run you through the categories. So the three main categories are the completed projects. So these are the projects that were completed between the 1st of January 2023 and until 31st of December 2025. So until the end of last year. So if your completed project is within this time frame, you can submit it. Next, we have the ready to build permitted projects. And these are the projects that you have a permit for and you are free to start building. You could even be in the process of building, but not yet completed. So you can also submit this under this category. Next, we have the interior experience. So this is obviously interior design and what you have, the interior decor and things like that of the building. So like an apartment or the inside of a home or a residential area. But I'll run you through the specifics of this in the later slide. But this, again, it has to be completed within the same time frame as the completed project, so between the 1st of January 2023 and 31st of December 2025. Next, we have the slide with the subcategories of completed projects. So these consist of culture, heritage, education, office, healthcare, and so on. So the list is vast, and I'm sure you could find a project yourself or in your office that will fit in one of these categories. And next we have the ready to build permitted projects. And here We have the master planning, city planning, transport, urban, landscape. And once again, you have this whole list and you can either screenshot, but we also have everything listed on our website. We have the official rules as well that you can go through. So when you submit your project, you can go through this and see exactly what fits where, so where your project fits. And then we have the interior experience. Here you can submit a project that's within a bar or restaurant, hotels, workplace, cultural, residential, sports. So once again, you have so many options, even for the interior experience, like just like the other two categories, you have so many options to submit your project. And you just need that project and the motivation to do so and to submit it. And obviously the knowledge to like to know how you can submit it. And this is why we're here today, because I am going to run you through the whole process in just a minute. Next, we have the timeline. So right now we're in the stage between before July 31st, where there's the standard registration for no fee. So until the 31st of July, you can submit your project for free and we won't expect anything from you. So I highly encourage you to urge you to like go through our website and see how see what you need to submit and basically submit your project. We really encourage you to do this. And just so you know, even if you submit your project now, you still have time. So once you've submitted it, although it goes live instantly, you can still edit it throughout this time until the final deadline. So you can still edit it with no issues. Then we have between July 31st to August 31st, you have the late registration with a fee of 100 euros. So if you can't submit your project until July 31st, you can still submit it until August 31st with a late registration fee of 100 euros. Then we have September 1st to 14th, which is the evaluation and jury selection of the finalist projects. And in September 20th, this is when you get the announcements of the finalist projects. In December 3rd and 4th is when the in-person presentations and jury assessment happens. And obviously on the 4th of December, there's the Grand Awards Gala that we're really excited for. So yeah, we hope to see you there. And it's very important. I just wanted to note this as well before I forget. It's very important that even after you've submitted your application and the applications have closed, we go through the evaluation process. And to continue, you have to have open communication with us and be active because when it might come to the point where we might ask for some more information about your project, some clarifications, or even proof of permits. So we really urge you to keep an eye on your inbox and to basically answer if we need any more context for your project. So if we don't receive an active response, your application may not be taken into consideration because it's going to be considered as like missing documents. So now I want to go through the submission process and some tips and tricks for you. We have the QR code over here, and if you're on your tablet, on your desktop or your laptop, I highly urge you to use your phone to scan it, and this will take you to your website. You can either do this now or just keep watching, and you can do this later. And this is our website, basically. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. You can go through our website on your own time and see everything. But I want to go through the submission process. So I'm going to click on Submit Your Project. And here, you can either, if you have an account, if you've applied before, that's wonderful. If you haven't applied, you can create an account. So you can click here and create an account. But because I have an account already, I'm just going to log in. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm on step one right now, which is the applicant details. And here I want to add my own details. So you as a person from your office, from your architecture office, or whoever you are, whoever's submitting this application. So I'm just going to type my name, my information. So I'm doing here just that. I'm from Romania, so I'm just going to add that. And just a phone number. I'm also going to add my email address and entity name. So I'm just going to write here, share architecture awards. And same with my address. So this is a pretty straightforward, at least the first part of it, because it just asks you for your regular details, where you're from, your city, and things like that. And this is just your own information. And as you can see, all the countries are here because once again, I say this, that even if you're not in the country that is listed as one of the invited countries to apply, you can still apply. So even if you're, I don't know, in Canada, but you have a project in one of these 21 countries, you can still apply. So I've also added my web address and a social profile. So whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, whatever you choose, you can add it here, but I've just added this over here. Now I'm going to click on next. And now we have the second point, the second step of this application, and this is the project information aspect. So let's say here we have our project name. So I'm just going to name it Share Project. This is going to be the name of your project directly. Now you can place it into one of the categories that I've spoken about. So completed project, interior experience, or ready to build permitted project. So you can choose the project, the category where you want to submit your project. So for example, let me do education. Project country, I'm going to do it in Romania as well. And city, I'm going to add my city over here. Here, this is the date. So I mentioned earlier that for completed completed buildings and also for the interior experience, you need to be submitting within that time frame. So I'm just going to do June 2025 on the 11th. That's when the project was completed. Now, I want to show you this aspect and talk a little bit more, but I also talk about it a bit later because I have a separate slide on this. This is the PDF presentation of a maximum 20 slides or pages. And this is the only presentation that the jury is going to read. So whatever you're submitting in this application process, this is going to go on our website, it's going to go on our social media pages, and it's also going to go on the catalog. So if you're a finalist, you're going to end up on our physical catalog that we created or that we're going to create. And this is where this information ends up. But your jury, the jury that we have, sorry, is just going to read this PDF presentation of 20 slides or 20 pages. So make sure that everything that you want to add about your project, it gives a complete breakdown on everything that your jury needs to know. So whether that's sketches, diagrams, images, text, the story behind your project. Just imagine that your jury has no access to whatever you're adding in this application process. They just have access to this file. So make sure that you have everything you need and all the details that make you proud to be submitting your project to the jury. So I'm just going to add a PDF over here. I've added the official rules PDF because this is what I have on hand. But yeah, you're going to add a PDF over here and make sure it's PDF, obviously, and the max file size is 25 MB. So this is once again very important. Here, we also want to have a link to the project on Google Maps. So I'm just going to add this again because I don't have a link for that. Next, we have the details about what each company supplier that you have and what they supplied. So you can write their name and what they've supplied. You can add up to 3 companies. So we have step 2 complete. And now we move on to step 3. So this is the project publication part. So to be more specific, in this area, this is what you're going to find on our socials, on the website. So after you've published your project, this is what you're going to find on the website. So all the details that you include here are very important for that. So I'm going to go through, so for example, the project area, let's say 450 square meters. This is the project area itself. Next, we have the overview of uh, the project itself. So you can describe exactly what you're wanting to emphasize with the elements of design, the achievement, your intentions behind the project, programming requirements, cost data, and make sure that uh, it's within the 500 character limit. So this includes spaces and other characters as well. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're submitting your process, but also it just automatically does it for you. Like, well, you can't go over 500. And same with project history. So let me just type in my project is the Sun Plaza, and I just forgot how to type. So I'm just writing random text over here, here as well. And under project history, you can provide a timeline and a summary on how your project came about, and even your client's perspective. If you have your client, it's their project, and any type of information that you would want listed on the website and on social media, and also on the physical catalog. So here the character limit is 1,000. So I've once again just written some random text here. Client or owner name, I'm going to write share. And here in the confidential area. So basically, if your client or owner doesn't want their information to be, their name to be basically published anywhere, you can either click yes or no. So if they want it confidential, you will choose this. So yes, the client or owner information is confidential, so they won't publish the name. But if they don't have a problem, or if you don't have a problem, you just leave it as is. Next, architectural credits. So here you can provide, separated by commas, the name of all the architectural firms and individuals who should receive public recognition for this project. So this goes from your engineers, uh, project managers, your designers, and anyone who basically contributed to this project. So you will add their architectural credits over here. And same goes with the project team. You can add their names. So let me just write Veronica, John, Matthew, Alexandra. So just like that. Obviously, you're going to add more details because you have all the details, but right now I'm just writing random names just so I could show you and explain at the same time. Here, we want you to provide one hero image that is landscape, and you have the pixels over here, so 2560 by 1440 pixels. And this is from your submission to be used for the announcement on Share Awards. And this is basically the cover image, the header image that's going to appear everywhere. So make sure it's a high quality image. So I'm just going to add an image that I have on file. And here we want you to provide, oops, 8 images. So again, keep in mind the pixels and the quality. We want you to provide 8 images for your submission to also be used for the announcements, and these will be uploaded here. So I'm just going to add A few images. Yeah, so I've just added a few images, and once again, keep in mind the file size. So over here we have the file size of 50 MB. Now, I've just added everything. I've added my text, I've added the client owner name, my own details, my office details, architectural credits, project team, and things like that. Now, very important because you won't be able to move forward if you don't have these as well. You need to click on all of these that you verify that all the information is associated, is accurate. Um, and you understand by checking this box that all the competition rules are mandatory. You've read the terms and conditions and all of that. So this is a completed submission, a completed project submission. It's not that difficult. It's three different parts. It's pretty straightforward. And now that I've done that, I will click on submit. Now, once I've clicked on submit, this automatically goes to the submissions area. So if I go check now on the submitted projects, I will see my project. So here it is. I have my project over here. And as you can see, we have a few projects that have already submitted, which is amazing. Maybe some of you are here, maybe not, but yeah. And here is my project submission. It looks a bit odd because it's just the banner of Share Architecture Awards, but this is how it's going to end up for you as well. And as you can see, there's an edit button. I'm going to click on that, and you can edit this information even after you've submitted. So until a certain time. So you have time, you can go back, submit. Maybe you're not happy with one of the images, maybe they don't look right. So you can go back and edit this as well. So that is basically it on the submission process. And let me go back. I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah, so like I was saying, this is how the submission process is. I hope that was pretty straightforward. There are again three different steps. First is the applicant information, then it's the project information, and then it's the project publication information. So this is the images, the information that you want to appear on our website, on the social media, and also on the physical catalog if you end up becoming one of the finalists. So now that I've done that, I want to go back to my presentation because I still have a few more slides left for you. Here are my slides. Uh, we've gone through this already. Now, we have our applicant details over here. Once again, I'm just going to just read through everything that I've just discussed until now, and just if it's for you to understand basically what happened, what each step is. You can take a screenshot if you want as well of this process to prepare everything and make it easier for you to actually go through the process and prepare everything beforehand. So again, the applicant details include your name, your email, phone number, entity name, so your office name, your address, and your website and social media links as well. Then we have the project information, which is the project name, category, the project country, city. So important, this is the distinction between your project country and city and your own country and city, because you can be in any other country, but your project country must be within one of those 21 countries. Your completed dates, your PDF presentation, your link to the project on Google Maps, and supplier information. And then we have the project publication aspect, which is the size of the project. We have You have to enter the square meters of the project, the area, the overview, which you are emphasizing the elements of design achievements and intentions, things like that. Project history, so how your project came about to be. The client owner, so you have to confirm with their name, if they want their name to come up in publications. So you have to confirm that as well. Then the credits, the project team, so the names of the people that helped bring this project to life or will bring this project to life, and obviously high quality hero images and regular images for the project. So these are the 8 images. Once again, the jury PDF presentation, I want to emphasize how important this presentation is. Um, Again, this is the only presentation, the only document that the jury will see. So you want to have your whole project over here, including your sketches, your diagrams, and everything like that. So make sure you include that here. Uh, don't mention any company details. Again, I don't think I've mentioned this, but don't mention any company details because I've stressed this on how important the transparency process is. So we can't have any company details, and if there is company details, it won't go forward to the evaluation process, and you can't become a finalist. So make sure you don't have any company details. You can also include an overview of history of the project, why it was built, the story behind everything. Just create a story. So we don't have any templates or things like that. You're free to creatively do whatever you want with this presentation to make it stand out to the jury. And yeah, just put your name on it, your brand basically, um, your creativity, but not the company names. I wanted to be more explicit. So yeah, add your high quality images, and you also need to read and follow the evaluation criteria from the official rules on our website. And you don't have to meet each and every point from the criteria, obviously, but the more you stick to it, the more you respect the different criterias, the better it's going to be for your project. But you have free reign to do whatever you want and whatever your creativity shows. And that's something that the jury has had experience with respecting and basically moving forward, having your creativity on it and just being you and providing a story behind everything that you're doing. So another few important details, maybe some questions. You may have whether you can submit multiple projects, and yes, you can. You can submit multiple projects, but you need to create a separate entry for each category. So the submission process that I just took you through, you need to do that for a different category. So if you want to submit it in different categories, you have to repeat the process. And also with the PDF file that you're sending the jury, uh, I highly urge you to do the same too. Put effort into creating, if you have multiple projects, put effort into writing this document and creating this document so that it fits into the category that you're submitting into. So that's super important, and I want to stress that as well. Just as an extra tip for you to submit, don't submit the same PDF in multiple categories. Just try as much as you can to make it different. Next, who can submit a project? So you can submit a project as an architect, a contractor, real estate developer, financier, or beneficiaries. So that's obviously with the architect's consent. So you need to get their consent as well. But anyone can do it. Whether you're the architect, contractor, real estate developer, and more. Next, I've mentioned this earlier as well, but I'm going to repeat it again. If you're an architect from outside the list of invited countries, you can still participate. So you don't have to be in the country where this project is from. So if you're from France, not yeah, if you're from France, but you have a project in a country within these 21, so let's say Poland, for example, you can submit your project because it is in Poland. So that's the way it works. Next, let's go through how the competition actually works. So eligibility is verified before you move to the first stage of evaluation. So you have to respect the project completion dates, building permits, things like that. And during this period, we may actually request more clarifications on your project. So if we find that we don't have enough details or we need some more evidence of certain things, some more documents, we may get in touch. So lack of response to our clarification emails may lead to disqualification and your project will not be considered. So please make sure that even after you've submitted, there is still more to go and you need to be active in your communication with us. Then the competition takes place in two different stages. During the first stage, there is the online evaluation by the jury without the presence of applicants. And like I said earlier, it's going to be based on this PDF document, which again, I'm stressing is so important that you put your all into, you put your heart into it and make it represent you. And uh, you need this PDF document for a different category if you plan to submit in different categories, because that's how your project is going to stand out. Just tell a story and be you. Don't try to be someone else or submit something that isn't you or your office. The second stage, and this is where the finalist projects are presented live to the jury and the audience. And this is going to be in December during the festival, and you get to present it live. So that's going to be really exciting. And this is what we're working towards, that those 2 days in December to meet everyone and uh, just basically be excited and network and form our community together and maybe meet new people, meet the same people that we've been meeting year after year, and just getting to know each other even more on a yearly basis. But from experience and what I have personally heard from others as well, is that just being there and being in that type of community is very inspiring and it leads to so many more opportunities after. So, an important note, confirmation of participation in the final is made within the deadlines communicated by the organizer. So for the final evaluation, the presentation is going to be in front of the jury and you have to present it in front of the jury. It is mandatory and online presentations will only be accepted if you have another exceptional case, which is medically justified or things like that. So you need to be in front of the jury to be presenting. Next, the confirmation will be accompanied by the payments of the participation fee for the festival events and for the publication of the project in the catalog of the finalist project. So this is just the fee for the actual festivity, the event, and the catalog that I've mentioned, the physical catalog that will include all the publications, all the projects. For the evaluation criteria, I highly recommend that you check out the official rules on our website. The process is based on key principles that assess each project's complexity, impact, and innovation. And I highly recommend that you check those out because there are so many details in the official rules. You probably saw the button on the submission process when I was showing you everything. So yeah, that's basically it on the evaluation criteria and the submission process and everything that's going to happen between now and in December when we have the event. So I'm really excited that you all were here and that you've seen me, you've heard me, and I hope that it's really helped you actually get motivated to apply and submit your project. So now I would like to take any questions if you have. So I'm just going to, let me show myself. I'm just going to be here for a little bit in case you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer anything. Maybe I've missed something, maybe something came in the meantime while I was presenting and you want to know more about this. So I'm really happy to actually provide any more information. But also, if you don't have any questions right now, I'm sure something is going to come up maybe. You have my contact details. You can take a screenshot. Let me just put it back up because I closed it. But yeah, these are my details, our details at the office that you can get in touch with. You have my WhatsApp on screen as well. So yeah, thank you once again for everyone.